I want to talk about why I'm an independent. Why I would not consider myself a Democrat even though I would agree with them on more things. The reason is the two-party system is really leading us down a bad path. So we've been shifting to the right in both parties for quite some time now. So obviously, Donald Trump is a shift to the right, but Bill Clinton, he was a shift to the right too. And things haven't gone back. We've only continued to shift to the right on things. In fact, Obama himself claimed to be 70% of a Republican recently. He said he agrees with them on 70% of things, and then it's just kind of like the details that they disagree with. Now, that's not me calling him a Republican. That's him calling himself 70% of a Republican. You can go read articles on that. Google search. It'll come right up. I promise. So I call myself an independent because I'm not going to vote blue no matter who. In fact, that's part of the reason we continue shifting to the right, because these corporatist Democrats can just continue doing whatever they want. They continue taking corrupt donations and then giving these corporations whatever they want, and it's just shifting the blame to the Republicans, and they just keep, they'll say, oh, well, at least we're not them, right? And that's what we have to avoid. So initially, like with Bill Clinton, he had to shift to the right in order to win, right? And so if it's all about winning, it just comes back to, well, I guess we'll just shift to the right. If you can't beat them, join them, right? So what do I mean by that? Let's get to a specific. So Bill Clinton, he moved to the right to be the tough on crime president. And tough on crime, I mean, that implies what? There's a weak on crime president? So what they have to do is they have to come up with new rules to be harsh on. So the new rules were anti-drug laws. And so part of the reason that we have all these drug crimes is because drug laws make more drug crimes. It's just how it is. You look at abolishing alcohol. How did that go? You had all these crime bosses starting up because now they're selling alcohol illegally, right? If a substance isn't illegal, you're not going to have a black market for it, right? There's not a black market for things that you can just go pick up at Walmart, right? Not saying necessarily that all hard drugs should be available at Walmart, but to some degree things should be more legalized and definitely not criminalized. So essentially, we didn't learn our lesson back with prohibition. And so now that sort of thing, it's led to more and more drug laws, mandatory minimum sentencing, that's another shift to the right. And these sorts of things, it's like now we got more prisons, we got private prisons, we have more prisons than schools, we have more people in prison than any other country, even though we're only about 5% of the world's population. We have almost a quarter of the world's prison population. It's insane. So let's think about the 2016 election, right? You had Bernie Sanders versus Hillary Clinton. And the Democratic establishment, they wanted to go with Hillary Clinton. And she's much further to the right than Bernie Sanders. And now we have Joe Biden. And guess who they're picking? Joe Biden. Out of everybody, they picked Joe Biden. Joe Biden's to the right of Hillary Clinton. Let me show you. So if you look up their policies, Joe Biden wants to lower the Medicare age from 65 to 60. Remember, Bernie Sanders wanted to give it to everybody, right? Lower the age to as soon as you're born, before you're born, you have coverage under Medicare. Now, if you look at Hillary Clinton's positions, she wanted it to be 50. So Biden is a move to the right from what we had last time. Back when Clinton was elected, they were doing the same thing. They were shifting to the right in order to win. And now they're trying to shift to the right and make people comfortable. And what's that going to get us? A continual shift to the right. How far to the right can we shift over time? I mean, are we going to get to the right to where Republicans are just to the right of Genghis Khan and Democrats are just to the left? And I'm not just being crazy here. We are so far right-wing in American politics that people like Bernie Sanders are considered centrist candidates across the world. Because you look at the fact that like paid family leave, we're one of 4 countries that doesn't have it in the entire world. And 3 of those other countries are third world countries. Third world countries. So America and third world countries are the only ones that don't have paid family leave. We're the only country in the world that doesn't have universal health care in some form. And that's just insane. So we're so far to the right that our vision is skewed. We look at a Democrat and we say, that's the guy for me, right? There's a leftist for me. And it's gotten so bad that they actually ran a Republican on the 2020 ticket and people didn't even notice. Did you? Do you know who I'm talking about? His name is Mayor Bloomberg. Bloomberg was a Republican mayor for years in New York, and nobody said anything. I feel like I was going crazy. I'm like, do people realize there's a Republican running for the Democratic nominee? Like, is this crazy? And there was all sorts of friends on Facebook who were vote blue no matter who, and they were accepting it. They were like, yeah, go for it. He's a Republican. He just changed to Democrat just to win. And it just shows how little difference there are in these parties. And like I said, Obama said it himself, 70% of a Republican. I mean, he's 70% Republican. It's getting so bad. We can't just all be like vote blue no matter who, because that's just giving them free reign to our vote. They're just saying, yeah, you're going to get my vote no matter what, as long as you're not one of them. As long as you don't put that jersey on, you're my guy. Even if they were wearing that jersey only a few years ago. That's how bad it's gotten. And that's why I'll never consider myself a Democrat unless there's a huge unless there's like a huge overwhelming change and people like Bernie Sanders and Andrew Yang, take over the party. That's the only way I would ever be like, yeah, there we go. That's the party for me. I never want my vote to be assumed. Like my vote is not yours by default. Does that make sense? Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what you're registered, and tell me who you're going to vote for in 2020. I want to hear from you guys, so I look forward to the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.